Security forces in St. Petersburg have dismantled a Ukrainian intelligence network that was plotting a terrorist attack against the head of a defense company. This was reported by the FSB's Public Relations Center. According to the agency, 2 women who were following the head of the enterprise, as well as a 19-year-old young man who attached a bomb to the victim's car, have been detained. Upon arrest, the 31-year-old groomer and 32-year-old fashion designer admitted to contacting the Ukrainian recruiter via telegram. For several days, the women followed the defense industry executive's car on bicycles with attached cameras, recording his every move. They subsequently hid a bomb in a charger box in a cemetery. A 19-year-old unemployed man took an explosive device from a hiding place and attached it to the intended victim's car. To retrieve the bomb, he disguised himself as an elderly woman. When he was arrested, he was wearing a skirt, jacket, and headscarf. The attackers planned to remotely activate the bomb and flee the country. Previously, the FSB detained a resident of the Volgograd region in Crimea. On orders from Ukrainian intelligence, she planned to blow up security forces with a bomb embedded in an Orthodox icon. The Russian woman wanted to recoup money stolen by telephone scammers. She had been tricked into joining a terrorist group.
Тачке вы поедете? Да, он на тачке, все, он уже походу отходит. Отходит, он идет туда, к длинному дому.
Встаем. Встаем. Куда это? Слушай.
В июле 2025 года вступил в ряды террористической организации, в составе которой подготовил диверсионно-террористический акт в отношении главы российского оборонного предприятия.
В июне 2025 года добровольно вступила в террористическую организацию. По заданию данной организации выполняла разведку для подготовки террористического акта по отношению руководителя российского оборонного предприятия.
В июне 2025 года добровольно вступила в ряды террористической организации, по заданию членов которого совершала разведывательную деятельность с целью проведения террористического акта против главы оборонного предприятия Российской Федерации.
Ukraine has already managed to thwart 2 offensive operations by the Russian army, but Russia is preparing for 2 more offensive operations in the autumn. This was stated by President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelenski in an interview with Sky News. In my opinion, we acted very timely. We thwarted 2 operations, completely thwarted 2 offensive operations. The third, I think, honestly, in a day or two we will understand that they suffered heavy losses, and nothing worked out for them, but I need 1 or 2 days to say this publicly. They are preparing for 2 more offensive operations in the autumn. I believe that things went much worse for the Russians than they expected. They are doing much worse than they reported to Putin. Putin doesn't know about this. I think he doesn't realize it, but he has schedules, he has reports, and at some point he will see it, said Zelensky. According to him, the mood in Europe and the US is indeed changing a little. Overall, I am glad, truly glad, that all of Russia's advances, all of their offensive missions, there have been 3, and they are planning 2 more heavy offensive campaigns. Their last 3 missions have failed. In my view, this is a very important signal. Firstly, what I told the Europeans and the White House, that the Russians would not succeed in taking our east, and that what they are telling you, that they can occupy the city of Sumy, all of this is lies and manipulation, and we would prove it. And that is exactly what happened. The Russians lost 3 campaigns, he told. Zelensky added that the Russians had suffered heavy losses in manpower and equipment and are now under great strain. Meanwhile, he noted that Ukrainian forces should be supported with weapons and financial assistance that goes into weapons production, and then Ukraine will be able to withstand 2 more Russian offensive campaigns. Recall, British intelligence, analysts from the Institute for the Study of War and the authoritative publication Bloomberg almost unanimously state that Russia is carrying out a large-scale regrouping of its forces, redeploying up to 100,000 troops to the Donetsk front. The troops are being withdrawn from the Kharkiv, Sumy and even Kherson regions in order to concentrate the striking force to successfully achieve the seizure of the entirety of the Donetsk region. The discourse is focused on the forces referred to by Russian propagandists as elite. These are the units of the 40th and 155th Marine Brigades, the 177th Marine Regiment of the Caspian Flotilla, units of the 11th and 76th Airborne Assault Brigades, as well as the 70th Motorized Rifle Regiment. Some analysts predict that such a concentration of forces points to Russia's intention to focus its autumn offensive on capturing the still unoccupied part of the Donetsk region, in particular the areas of Dobropilya, Pokrovsk and Kostiantynivka. At the same time, the decrease in activity in the Sumy and Kharkiv directions indicates the failure of Russian attempts to create a so-called buffer security zone in the north. Oleksandr Kovalenko, military columnist at information resistance think tank, calls for caution about the news of the scale of Russian troops redeployment. He confirms the reports about individual Russian units being redeployed closer to the Donbass front, but believes the global concentration of forces to be an exaggeration.